Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And today we're just going to jump into a little bit more adding to the whole concept of budgeting and spending. But right now we're in the middle of the holiday seasons, and happy holidays to everybody who celebrates the holidays. But a lot of times, this and including times like birthdays or whatever the case is, we get into a phase or a pattern of spending a lot of money. And over the years, the times it has evolved to where we tend to spend or purchase gifts for people or loved ones, whatever the case is, based on just this kind of new, I guess you would say, culture of, okay, I have it to spend because it looks like, okay, I have that money to spend. So sometimes you might be the oldest sibling of the family, the aunt and uncle who, is always the one who normally gives everyone gifts, you know, um, or whatever your role might be, but you're just that one, like you people start expecting you to spend almost like sometimes in depending on your position in your family. Like I said, if you're the person who always was helping everyone out or whatever the case is, you kind of had that pressure to be like, okay, I got it. And it almost becomes this thing where that's the one who gets the best gifts. And this could apply to anybody. It's everyone within the family, but definitely if you're that one who was always perceived as, or say, especially if you don't have kids and you always like the fun aunt and uncle who always would buy people gifts, or like I said, say if you were the oldest sibling and everyone kind of knew in the family, like, okay, you're the one who always was the one who was like looked like you had the most money or the most available money because you were the oldest who kind of did it big first, or whatever the case is. You kind of get what I'm saying, or whatever your position is. But in general, in the holidays, nowadays it's almost become a thing where who can spend the most money, who can show that they have it like that for the purpose of spending, or maybe even going out for holiday dinner with the family. And it's like, okay, you almost get this pressure to say, yeah, I got it. Don't worry, I'll take care of the bill for everybody just for the sake of showing I can do that. And so, we just really want to kind of tap on you can't be that and you shouldn't be that, or don't try to live up to that, especially like I said, for the holiday seasons, birthdays, this and that. you know we get into this phase where we just spend. We'll be like, you know what, I gotta get for all my family members, I gotta get for my immediate family, I gotta sometimes get for certain friends, or maybe you know I gotta purchase for coworkers, whatever the case is. Get out of that phase. I know that sometimes it's tough because the pressure of, like I said, this newer generation puts on people that, oh, you have to spend, you have to, whatever the case is, otherwise you look cheap. Don't worry about that, but don't spend. Don't be that person who's just spending money. Um, all these little things add up, especially during the holiday season, but including birthdays, um, small holidays like Valentine's Day, other like other times, whatever the case is, it all just adds up. And, I had this conversation one time with a family member about how, these little things add up for your budgeting that can go a long way, where by the end of the year, sometimes even for your kids, get out of the habit of spending like over 1,000 something dollars on your kids for their birthday, especially when their kids are under 10 years old. And, they aren't even going to recognize the difference. If you spend like $100, excuse me, if you spend like $100 on toys for your kids, during a given holiday event, $100, maybe go up to $200. That's fine. There's no reason to be spending on your little kids who are below 10 years old. Um, you know, $1,000. And there are people who do that. They go, okay, I just got to do this. I got to set this bar. And what you realize psychologically is the kids are not. It doesn't make a difference to the kids at all. They don't know the difference between you buying them, say, $200 worth of, you know, like action figures and, dolls and, whatever it is, like, a collection of figures with board games and all these, whatever, however you mix it up. That $200 worth can go a long way with amazing little gifts here and there. You buy a couple of maybe Lego sets, a couple of action figures, a couple of board games, a couple of little like, little interactive sets like a little bowling set or little basketball hoop set that goes on the door. All these things, you could buy a whole bunch of things for like $200. They're not going to know the difference between that and you buying them, say, like a $500 iPad, or something like that. Like, be smart with all that. And I'm not doing this to harp on specifically the kids, but it's the whole thing, it's the whole holiday thing in general, or birthdays and all that kind of stuff. That money should be going to investing, because at the end of the year, you could easily find yourself spending somewhere close to, like, say, $4,000 or something like that for the year. And you go, wow, I do that every year. And I spend like $4,000 or more every year on holidays. And it's like, in 5 years, you could have taken that $4,000, that's $20,000. This is not including just whatever other savings you could be doing. But in like about 5 years, that's, like I said, $20,000 that could be like, okay, I could have put that into something. You know what I mean? That's like maybe a down payment on a home. Really wrap your head around that, because let's even just do some basic math at the top of our heads. Just as a man alone, because there are a couple holidays also that cater to men. Women the same, but more so women are doing more so for their kids, and they get wrapped up a lot of times into their kids spending the money. But I know you have, and especially for men in this category, because of holidays like Valentine's Day and Mother's Day, men usually tend to go really all out a lot. So I'm going to break this down from that perspective of man. But if you're a woman who's spending this much as well, then obviously this applies to you as well. First off, you have a birthday. Sorry about that. So first off, I hope everything's in frame. You have birthday. So we'll say that is your significant other's birthday, whether it's your girlfriend, whatever the case is. So you have that. We're gonna start going from the top, including from the beginning of the year, just so we can catch all the events that would apply as best as we know of. So we'll say that you got a birthday for your significant other. So obviously, if you're a woman, this is your man. If this is if you're a guy, this is your girlfriend. But we're just gonna say girlfriend, just so we know. And don't mind the sloppy handwriting. I'm just rushing here. And then we'll say, okay, we'll say that you have your kid B day, short for birthday, obviously. Um, let's just say you got two kids. So kid, and that's the second kid for your birthday, okay? And then we're gonna say, let's go to Valentine's Day or V Day, Mother's Day, Mother's Day, and then um, let's see here. Am I skipping anything before we get to Christmas? All right, we're just going to throw Christmas in there. And if anything else comes into our mind, then we'll add that. Christmas. Okay. So there goes that. This is not even including, this is just your immediate setup. This is not even including everyone else necessarily that you might know for other, their birthdays or any kind of things like that, or other kind of things. This is just that. So, most people nowadays, And and I'm going off of the trend. I'm going off of the trend of what people are doing, not what they should be doing. So don't mind if it comes to where you're like, well, I don't spend that money, or I don't even make that much money. But it's more so the point of how the holidays are causing people to over exaggerate what they should be spending. So a lot of times on someone's significant other, they're spending like about $1,000, give or take, on their birthday. Whether it's like a new expensive handbag, a lot of times it's more than that. But you get an expensive handbag, for your woman. And I say this because there are some women who will spend, a lot of money on a man, but generally speaking, the men usually output more for those events. Like I said, this applies to women as well. Anyone, just get on saving your budget. But I know, from seeing men, from my own experiences, from every, people around me, family members, friends, coworkers, anything of that sort over the years, the guys I've known just firsthand told me they spent like a lot of money. Sometimes the birthday event is a vacation, but we're going to throw that there, that kids, a lot of people are doing the same. $1,000 per kid. I've seen this before, which is crazy. Then Valentine's Day, you're probably spending at least, sometimes it's up to 1,000, but we're gonna say at least $500. $500 on a Valentine's Day. And some people will actually even Valentine's Day take out their mom as well. That's not all the time, but sometimes they'll do stuff like that. But then Mother's Day. Now, Mother's Day, you're getting your mom, you're getting now, this is assuming that you have a significant other, and say in the case of a man, you have a woman where there's their mom, there's your mom, and then there's the person, your girlfriend or your wife, whoever you're with. Now you're looking at, for Mother's Day, you're looking at least to probably, if it's just going out for dinner, or sometimes some women want that day even more significant than Valentine's Day. But we'll just go and be gentle and say your significant other wants you're going to spend $500 on them. But now you're looking on the mothers spending probably almost about another 500 for each of them as well. So now you're looking at a total on that day of $1,500. And then Christmas, obviously, now guess what? The kids, you have your two kids, that's 2,000 for them total. And then your significant other, probably another 1,000. So you're looking at $3,000. I know this seems crazy of how fast this adds up, but 100%, this is what goes on with the holiday seasons now, because this is what gets pushed on us, this pressure, especially if you come from being single and everyone expects you to spend. Then all of a sudden now, like, you get with someone and that kind of bar is still set to that height. So let's add this up here. So we're looking at $8,000. $8,000 for the year. And I mean, honestly speaking, some people will look at this and go, this is crazy. Others will look at this and break down each event. Not like you look at the total and you might go, oh, that looks like a lot. But there's some people who are watching this video who legit 100% will break down each actual event and go, you know what? I did spend $1,000 on my boyfriend, my girlfriend, whatever. I did spend $1,000 or close to it on one of my kids' birthday, on the other kid's birthday, and we're talking total. So maybe like you bought them $500 worth of gifts, but then you took them out for an event where it was like, they went for 2 days, maybe over a weekend. They went to play here, do that, and they went to another thing. So in total, you spent that. Because that doesn't mean just a gift. It also means you going out to dinner. So maybe, like I said, for those who think I don't spend that much money on my girlfriend or my boyfriend or whatever the case is, but when you think about, I went to that dinner, I went to that, event, maybe the holiday play, that Broadway play or whatever the case is. And then in addition, I spent $500 on a gift. So it's like, yeah, it adds up. So a lot of people are looking at this right now, and some people might say it doesn't apply to them, but some people are going, oh, you know what? No, like when I really break it down, I did spend $1,000 on my significant other. I did spend $1,000 on each kid when their birthday came. I did spend like $500 on Valentine's Day because I bought those expensive flowers, the chocolate, went to the expensive restaurant, and whatever the case is, and I had to buy a little gift, whatever it was, a little piece of jewelry, and it added up to $500. On Mother's Day, I did spend $1,500 or close to it because I did for my mom, her mom. and her, my girlfriend, and of course I want to make a good impression with her mom, or whatever the case is. I don't want to look like I'm cheap, so I get pressured mentally, not by them, but just by society. Like, okay, I gotta make sure it looks good. And then Christmas, of course, your girlfriend, the kids, both kids, you gotta whatever, and it ends up being like that. And then you look down and you realize I do spend that much as you might think you don't. But when you add it up, you're like, oh shoot, I really do spend that much. And that happens so easily. And then you start multiplying that over the years, and you're like, wow, like I'm really spending a lot of money. Like, so in 5 years, this times 5 years right here, you're looking at $40,000. How crazy is that? You know what I mean? That's what you're looking at that point. Now you're looking at $40,000, and it's like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, just in 5 years, that's crazy. But this, 100%, this happens or something close to it. Like I said, even if you're spending half of that and it's $4,000 for the year, the point is that the holiday seasons really get you. So obviously, you've seen some of our past videos in terms of budgeting. If you haven't, go check them out. Um, but definitely, um, and I'm going to put the link in the description for those past budgeting videos, all the past budgeting videos that we've done, or at least definitely the latest one where I really kind of broke down budgeting once again, just an updated video on things. But I need you to understand how this stuff kind of creeps up on you. Don't be that person. You got to stop with all this. I know sometimes it might feel like the world and everyone around you is going to feel like you're cheap and they're going to say things. First off, let's say this. If you have a significant other, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever it is, and they're bothered that you aren't spending money like that, you don't need to be with them, because they should be seeing the big picture with you, which is about growth as all of you as a family, and not as an individual like I want, I want. Secondly, kids below the age of 10 do not need $1,000 spent on them. In addition to that, um, when they get past 10, guess what? You should be teaching them that they also don't need that much money spent on them, because at that point, it's about you saving and putting away money for them in investments accounts or whatever the case is. Now, once they once they are of the age where you might have to spend things on them, like maybe a new laptop for learning, that's different. That's not necessarily like, oh, I'm spending on a gift. It's more for the purpose of them, like learning and buying things of that sort. So that's a little bit different. Um, Obviously, things like Valentine's Day, like, get out of that pressure of, well, you're a bad, boyfriend or girlfriend, even though, like I said, most of the time women are not the ones doing this and spending the money, but, just covering all bases. But for the most part, you're not this bad person if you didn't spend on Valentine's Day. No, they should not have that mentality. They should not have to feel special that you've spent $500 or more for Valentine's Day. You can say, listen, I'm going to, we're going to go home. I'm going to cook for you. We're going to just have a good time, watch a movie. That's it. Or maybe, maybe you'll buy some stuff out to eat, or maybe you take them out to go eat for the day, but, you don't have to spend an arm and a leg. You go to, just a simple restaurant. Maybe you spend like, $50 total for the both of you, maybe 25 for you guys each. And that's it. You don't need to be doing all this other kind of stuff. If they don't understand that, you don't need to be with them, but you got to put that message in their minds right away. Get away from this pressure of society telling you got to spend money. Mother's Day. Listen, I get it. Sometimes, especially with our own moms who've done so much for us, we want to give back to them. Most of the time, they don't really care either way, but just you spending time with them. So if you take them out to go eat, you spend time with them, talk with them, update them about all the stuff going on with your life, what's going on with the kids, just have a good laugh with them, enjoy. They're not going to care that you spent like $500. They're going to more so just say, I got to spend time with my daughter or my son or whoever. And I had a good time. So really, that's another thing where you don't really have to spend more than $50. You go to a nice little, like regular space and go have a nice, meal, go to a diner, whatever the case is. It's fine. Obviously on Valentine's Day, on Mother's Day also, your significant other, this and that, shouldn't be spending all that much money. Don't get crazy. It doesn't have to be like $1,000. That's insane. Like, we got to get out of that mentality. Christmas as well. We should not be $1,000 per person. I get it. Sometimes we have those times, whatever the case is, but it's really, we got to be more creative instead of just dropping $1,000, because society and the way they do with all their new items that come out every year, the latest cell phone, the latest this, the latest that, and everything's like $1,000. Like, we can't be doing this. You know what I mean? Because it's just too much money. It goes to waste. And then before we know it, we're in a situation where we're like, how come my life isn't getting better? Well, you just spent the last 5 years dropping $8,000 over the holidays. That's $40,000. That would have easily got you out of whatever situation you were in. So you guys get the point. Enjoy the holidays. I hope this video wasn't a bummer for the holidays, but I hope it put in perspective for you guys what you guys need to be doing so you guys can move forward. Because, like I said, all the time in this channel, it's about you guys bettering your life, positivity, moving forward, so you guys can have that better life that you guys envision for yourself instead of being inside a rut or feeling like you guys can't do. We're all about making sure you guys can do. And with that being said, you guys take care, be safe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.